Okay, I'm gonna record so I don't forget, and then let's get started because I'm sure you guys have other things you want to do. So thank you for joining. I'm quite sad that we've lost a few people, but I will send out the recording. So, okay. Let me know, guys, if you can see my screen.
Good.
Perfect. Awesome. So today we're going to talk about personal wellness. This is something I talk to people about daily. It's more of like a basic of what I do, what I can offer, and kind of give you some suggestions on daily habits that you can basically live by. We all know who I am, so we don't need to do any introductions there. Okay, so the goal is to really empower you guys to create a healthy lifestyle and to educate you on how easy it really is to make simple changes. What we're going to talk about, we're going to do a little bit of nutrition and digestion. So whole foods, intermittent fasting, macronutrients, water intake. We're going to talk a little bit about movement and metabolism, why we need to be active, ways to move your body, and gut health. We're going to talk about rest and management of stress. So basics, sleep and stress, and we're going to reduce toxicity. So some easy household swaps, some essential oils, and then we're just going to kind of sum it all together and give you guys an idea of what a day in the life of me looks like. Or what I would like everyone's day to look like. So if you guys have a piece of paper, pencil, anything like that, I want you to look at this wellness pyramid. And I want you to mark down in each section what you would be out of 10. So 10 being, so 1 being bad, 10 being good. So when we look at nutrition and digestion, how would you rate yourself? Is that something you focus on now? You know, are you a 5? Are you a 6? Are you a 10? Things like that. And I want you to do the same for movement, rest, and reduce toxicity. This is more for if we ever want to sit down and have a conversation, but it's something to look at to see maybe the areas that you really need to work on. So I'll leave this up for a sec if you guys want to write that down or just make note of it. And what I always suggest is when we're looking at things to improve, we start with the top 3. Maybe you need to look at all of them to some extent, and we can tackle that. But the top 3 are usually the most important where we want to start. Let me know when you guys are done.
Do you want us to tell your numbers now or leave it?
No,
as
no,
is?
you don't even need to tell me. I just wanted to make sure you got this before we moved on. I mean, it's no big deal. It's just something to be conscious about. Where do you think your biggest struggles are? Something that we should definitely talk about. But these are, it's a pillar, right? So if you only have one thing on here that's good, you're not going to be able to create optimal health, right? So the goal is for you guys to be between a 7 and a 10 on all of these areas. And this is being proactive. So if we can manage the bottom 4, the top one is automatic, right? We're already being proactive for our medical care. If we don't look at all of these, then you're going to be visiting a doctor more often than not, right? Especially as we age. So if we can tackle these and get them as high as possible to, you know, being good with sleep and stress, then you're going to be feeling good. You're going to be able to move through life with less issues. Okay, my head, all our heads are in the way of my little, hold on here. Let me just move you guys. Give me one sec here. Da, 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 da. I don't know why my settings are all different than they used to be, but I'm going to minimize you so I can't see your heads, guys. Sorry. Okay, so the first thing we're going to talk about is fasting. Do you guys know anything about intermittent fasting?
I know a
No,
little bit.
A little
really.
bit? Okay. So it's something that's becoming more and more popular, and you're going to start probably hearing about it a lot more. So fasting is basically an eating plan that switches between fasting and eating. So it's basically like an eating window. So research shows that fasting is a way to manage your weight and prevent or even reverse some forms of disease. So fasting works by prolonging the period from when your body has burned through the calories consumed during your last meal and begins burning fat. So most people, when they start fasting, we do a 16-8. So that means you're going to fast for 16 hours, and that fasting means you're not eating. And then the 8 is when you're going to eat. So it's like a meal schedule type thing. So that means you're eating for 8 hours and you're fasting. So most of that 16 hours, you're sleeping, right? Or at least half of it, we hope. So what to expect when you start fasting? It's going to kickstart your metabolism. You're going to have mental clarity and focus. You're going to have accelerated weight loss and optimized health. So just to give you guys an idea, I don't like not seeing your heads. I feel like I'm talking to myself. Just give me 1 sec. Just to give you guys an idea, every hour, if you actually go on my Instagram account, a little bit down, there's a fasting video that I did, and every few hours, something different happens. So like in week 1, it's kickstarting your metabolism and that, but every hour something happens. So inflammation gets reset, your cells rejuvenate, your hormones get reset. So there's so many beneficial things from fasting. So this is one of the things that we do with my program. So macronutrients. What are macros? Macros are the nutrients we need to provide us with energy. So in other words, your fats, your protein, and your carbohydrates. So if you guys have ever heard of people tracking their food, a lot of the way that it's explained is exactly that. We're talking about carbs, we're talking about protein, and we're talking about healthy foods. So what I always suggest is 45% of your plate is going to be carbohydrates, 25% is going to be protein, and 30% is healthy fats. It does slightly change, you know, when you're looking at your weight and your age, and there's certain things that can alter things like that. But as a generic base plan, this is what we do. So every time we're eating, we want to think of these 3 things on your plate. 45% of your plate's carbs. You want to have 25% protein and 30% healthy fats. Water intake. We all know that water intake is huge in nutrition. So when you guys are looking at how much water you should be drinking, I want you to take your weight and I want you to divide it in 2. And then that's going to be the ounces of water that you should be eating or drinking every single day. The reason we do this, it lubricates your joints, it boosts your skin health, it cushions your brain, your spinal cord, sensitive tissues, regulates your body temperature, flushes body waste out of your system, helps maintain blood pressure, and actually helps your airways as well. So water is so important to drink. So when we wake up in the morning and you have that hunger feeling, almost always it's actually not hunger, you're dehydrated. So when you start fasting, you eliminate that, basically your breakfast. You kind of move your breakfast a little bit later in the day. So when you wake up, you're thinking, I'm hungry. Well, how am I going to fast and start eating at 10 or 11 when I'm already starving? You're not. So drink, drink, drink. When you start increasing your water intake, you're going to actually start waking up and realizing that you're not hungry anymore, you're not dehydrated, and you don't have that need to instantly have breakfast. Okay,
So
movement and sorry, go ahead.
water doesn't interfere with fasting or
Nope.
doesn't count against that or anything? Okay.
No, so
You're specifically referring to food.
with fasting, you can have coffee. You just don't want, you can have tea. You just don't want to add the sugars. You can add basically, as long as there's no fiber or protein, anything that's below 40 calories. So if you can find something that doesn't have like your cream in that, it's going to kill your fast. I drink black coffees and I usually add collagen to it just to give it a little bit of a boost. But yeah, you can, if you can stay away from drinking coffee with milk and all that, there's quite a few non-dairy items out there that you can get that actually are okay for it. BCAAs, there's like it's like a muscle repair drink. A lot of the BCAAs, there's nothing in them. You can drink that. Some of the collagen you can get away with. I find so when I wake up in the morning, I have my water, I have my coffee, and then I go work out. And when I'm working out, I have the BCAAs, and it's like a blueberry, it's flavored, and it's almost like it's faking telling my brain that you're eating something just because it has that slight little flavor to it, and I'm fine. I'm hypoglycemic, and I never thought I would be able to fast, but the water intake and eating more food in that certain window makes such a difference. It's pretty crazy. Does that answer your question? Oops.
Hmm.
Oops. Okay, so movement and metabolism. We all know we have to be active. Regular physical activity is one of the most important things that you can do for your health. So being physically active can improve brain health, manage your weight, reduce the risk of disease, strengthen bones and muscles, improves your ability to do everyday activities. Some people struggle playing with their kids, getting up, moving around, right? Like it's so important to be active. But as we age, things change. We need to start strength training. We've trained ourselves, our brains, to think that the more cardio we do and the less we eat is what's going to benefit us. And it's actually the opposite. We need to do less hard, intense cardio, and we need to start strength training. So building muscle, it gives you better balance. It's going to improve your cardiovascular health, increase your bone density. Just to give you guys an idea, when you hit 40, every year after you hit 40, you lose 1% of your muscle mass and your bone density. So if you think at your life and you don't do any strength training, and maybe if you're taking supplements, it's going to help a little bit. But by the time you're 70, that's 30% that you've lost. So by doing strength training, it combats that, right? So it's actually you're gaining that back plus more. It's going to give you better joints. It's going to reduce body fat, support mental well-being, improve sleep quality. Everything we're talking about here, you'll see on each slide that you're noticing repetitive things, right? Manage weight, manage stress. It's all connected. We know how to get our bodies moving. We just physically have to do it. I consciously will work out every day during the week, and I will walk for 30 minutes. So I try to walk after each meal, but on top of that, if I can, I do a 30-minute walk in the morning. If I do my 30-minute walk in the morning, I know that I will get my steps for the day. So my goal is between 8,000 and 10,000, and I'm happy. But if I don't, because I work from home and I sit at a desk, if I do not go for that walk, I will not hit my steps. So you really have to be conscious with moving your body. Outside of working out and strength training, if you're an active person and you have young kids and you're out on the go and you're going to sports and you're going here and you're going to the grocery store on a regular day, you're probably not going to have the problem. But now that my kids drive themselves places, I work from home. I mean, my phone or my watch will flash and it's like, get up, move around. Like you just get into something and you realize, wow, I've been sitting for 4 hours. I haven't moved. So get it in your schedule, get out and walk, play a sport, do something. Like Scott, you were saying you play soccer. That's great. You're definitely going to get your steps in on the night of soccer. Get a treadmill. If you work from home, I have a tray for my treadmill. There's those walking little versions of treadmills too you can get, where you can have like a tall desk and work from there. Whatever you can do, get moving. When you move your body, wonderful things happen. Gut health. Gut health is huge. When we talk about mental health issues, when we talk about, my goodness, so many different issues, a lot of it stems from gut health. So that's why I always talk about nutrition with everyone that I sit down with, because no matter what the problem is, whether it's migraines, whether it's mental health, whether it's not sleeping right, your gut health is huge. If you have a gut problem, you guaranteed will have a lot of other problems. So when we look at gut health, we think of many different things, but fiber in your diet is super important. So men should eat 30 grams of fiber and women should eat 25 grams of fiber. If you guys want to know what the kids should be eating, I can let you know it's a lot less, but if you can focus on making sure that you're having fiber in your diet, it's going to make a big difference. So eat a diverse range of colorful fruits and vegetables. We all know that. You want to have your plate full of green, red, everything, fruits and vegetables. Limit processed foods. Scott, you and I were talking about staying on the outside aisles of the grocery store as much as possible. Anything packaged and processed it's not going to be beneficial, and it's going to be super high in carbohydrates, the carbohydrates that we don't want. We want the good, healthy carbohydrates that are from the ground, whole foods, potatoes, rice, fruits, vegetables, things like that. Again, gut health, drink your water, right? Eat foods that are rich in polyphenols, which is berries, nuts, flax seeds, cocoa powder, olives, vegetables. Eat slowly. I used to always laugh. I used to always laugh at my grandmother. She was the slowest eater. It drove us all insane because we'd all be sitting there waiting for grandma to finish her meal. But she lived till 94 and she never had any stomach problems. So there's a reason. Eat fermented foods. This is coming back. This is really coming back. Kombucha is everywhere. Miso, tempeh, kefir, apple cider vinegar, pickles, yogurt. We do suggest you stay away from gluten and dairy as much as possible, but yogurt is great because one, it's high, it's high in protein if you do Greek yogurt and you buy the right one that's has no sugar in it, but it's a good way to add your protein and it's great for gut health. Take a pre and probiotic supplement. Do any of you guys take supplements? I know it's something not everyone does. It's definitely something you guys should consider as you start aging. Adding that into your kids' diet is super beneficial. Micronutrients, it just really gives you a healthy metabolism. doTERRA has a great one. It's dual encapsulated and it actually goes to your lower digestion and benefits you the most. Whereas a lot of other ones, by the time it gets down to your bottom intestine, it's actually disintegrated and it can't benefit you the same way. Enzyme is another one to have. So if we're thinking of breaking down foods, processed foods, especially if you're going to have chicken wings, if you're going to have something that is really not healthy, having an enzyme supplement is really beneficial because it's going to help break down your food. So just to give you an idea, I did a video and it was oatmeal. We all know how oatmeal loves to harden. And so I had 2 bowls and I broke an enzyme supplement, it's called Terrazyme, into one of them. And then within 20 seconds, you could start stirring that oatmeal that was hard. So that's what it does in your body. It helps break down food so that you can digest it properly. So imagine if you're eating something that whether your body doesn't like it or it's just that unhealthy food and it's not breaking it down, it's trying to go through your intestines, it's going to wreak havoc on your poor little body. So it's always good to, oh, sorry, I keep trying to move something and I hit the button. Multivitamin, great for brain health, protects your cardiovascular, super beneficial. I don't know if you guys take multivitamins, but as we age, it's something we need to start considering. You cannot get what you need, everything from foods anymore, unfortunately. So rest and manage stress. How many hours would you guys sleep a night? On average?
8, 9.
Oh, well, that's good. You're
I'm a
good.
7.
7's good though too. They recommend that you sleep 7 to 9 hours, and women actually need 2 more hours of sleep than men. So when my husband's trying to wake me up on the weekend and I'm ignoring him, that's why. He does not need as much sleep as I do. So sleep helps maintain cognitive skills, attention, learning. Lack of sleep, it's difficult to cope with anything, right? It's difficult to cope with stress, with our kids, with life, with anything. We all know when you don't sleep, everyone's miserable. It affects our mood. We know ways that we can improve sleep, but these are some simple ones that, just a reminder, be consistent. Go to bed at the same time if you can. Remove electronics. I know electronics is huge nowadays. You get in the habit because one, our work is on our phone. So we tend to look at our phones constantly. It's the last thing we do right before we go to bed. We use our phones as our alarm clocks. If you can have it where your phone is not in your bedroom, do it. Leave it somewhere else. Have a room that's quiet. Stop eating 3 hours before bed. That's why when we do the 16-hour fasting and the 8 hour of eating, it's a great way to do it if you stop eating roughly at 7 p.m. Like you have dinner and you're done by 7 p.m. And then you start eating around 11 o'clock, unless you have thyroid or you're pregnant, you start a couple hours earlier. And that's because most people would go to bed between probably 9:30 and 10:30. So it gives your body that 3 hours to digest your food. Because guess what? If you eat right before you go to bed, guess what your body does all night? It digests food. It doesn't actually sleep and repair yourself. So when you're fasting and you're sleeping, your body should be regenerating cells, repairing cells, rejuvenating your body so that you start the day fresh. When you eat right before bed or you drink a beer or anything, your body stays up all night. So that's also why we feel extra tired when we've eaten before bed. I find if I eat before bed, I wake up starving. I don't know about you guys, but for whatever reason, it makes me hungry. Have a diffuser in your bedroom. Get some calming oils in the diffuser. Exercise, exercise, exercise. If you're moving your body, it is naturally taking away your stressors. I know life is stressful, but it does help relax, especially those, daily ones of just going to work and being busy and things like that. Use calming oils on your skin. I don't know if you guys can see this. I don't know if you know much about essential oils, but you can breathe them in, you can put them on your skin, and you can take some of them internally. And having a roller that has calming oils in it and putting it on your skin before bed, it's actually going to get into your bloodstream super quick, and it's going to help calm down your body. So sometimes if we have kids that are very active before bed, it's a great way to calm them down before you want to get them in there and lights off. Serenity capsules 30 minutes before bed. It's another doTERRA product. They've actually upgraded it and it's an amazing product. If anyone takes melatonin, it's your healthy version of melatonin, basically. So managing stress. Stress can play a huge role in how we manage our daily life. It's just like sleep. If we are stressed, it's a ripple effect, right? So how can we manage stress? Meditation, taking deep breaths, eating healthy, well-balanced meals. Eating healthy actually can relieve stress. Isn't that crazy? Exercise, look at that. Exercise is in there again. I use exercise too as an outlet. I used to run and then my knees don't like it anymore. So if I was overwhelmed and stressed, I would grab my phone and music and I'd head out for a run. So now I do that with exercising. Get plenty of sleep. Avoid excessive alcohol, tobacco, and substance use. Use calming essential oils. We have this great adaptive system that you can diffuse, put on your skin, and take internally as well. So I want you guys to think alcohol. When we drink alcohol, and I love my glass of wine, when we drink alcohol, what happens is basically your body focuses on the alcohol. It doesn't focus on any food you've eaten around that time that hasn't been digested. So your body will actually try to digest and deal with alcohol and it will leave the food. So if you think of people that maybe that drink a lot, they tend to be overweight. And that's because our bodies just try to deal with the alcohol. They don't have time to digest food and things like that. So basically, whatever you eat that day is going on our hips. So reduce toxicity. So easy household swaps. When we look at optimal health, I think of three things: what we put on our body, what we put in our body, and how we move our body. So reducing toxicity is covered in two of those, what we put on and what we put in our bodies. So I don't know if you guys have heard of the EWG website, but it is a great app to get, or you can use it on the internet if you don't have the app, and you can go through your house products and scan items, and it will actually tell you the level of toxicity in that product, which is pretty cool. So when I was introduced to this, I went through my house. My kids were fairly young, so it was about 6, 7 years ago. And I was mortified because the highest products of chemicals were basically everything my children were using. So it was a huge eye opener for me. So when I go to buy something, I will open my app and I will just see, the toxic level in there. I can pretty much pinpoint now, like if I just read a label, the bad stuff that's in there. But if you're unsure, it's a really good app to look at because you can find other products. There are easy swaps out there, whether you make them yourself, which I am a DIY queen. So if you ever want a recipe for anything, I have it. I've made it. It's probably in my house. But if not, there's clean companies out there. So swapping out something that you already use just for a different product is so easy. Simple things. Kick your shoes off in your house. Don't wear your shoes in your house. The amount of chemicals that are found on the bottoms of our shoes is pretty crazy. And dirt. We don't like walking through our house. I always laugh when I watch TV and movies because they always walk in their house with their shoes on all the time. Use essential oils. So do you guys have those plugins? You can easily swap that out for a diffuser. doTERRA actually came out with a plugin that you twist your essential oil into, and when you walk by it shoots out a nice little scent of essential oils. Stay away from anything that is labeled fragrance because it is a fake smell. Use fresh products versus canned as often as you can. I use canned products, my tuna and things like that. But generally, I make my own soups. I do as much as I can from home, from garden, from, fresh versus having 5 million things canned and prepackaged because they have to add preservatives. They have to add all these lovely things in it. And there's usually a ton of sugar. So as often as you can stay away from them, it's great. Simple thing. Do you guys have a shower curtain? If it's not a cloth one, you can go and you have a plastic shower curtain, you can go to Walmart and get a cloth one. That right there eliminates a ton of chemicals that's going in. You think you're in a hot shower, your hot water is leaking onto this lovely cheap plastic thing that's beside you and you're stepping in it. So simple things like that, we can easily remove and swap out for something different. It's just being educated. I apologize. I tried to redo this photo numerous times and it just wasn't cooperating. So these are some simple swaps. There's a million swaps for everything, but these are quick and easy ones that a lot of people use regularly. So the first one is cleaning supplies. So this is an On Guard cleaner concentrate that you just put a little squirt into water and you have your cleaner. The second one is hand soap. It's a pre-made hand soap that you dump in just like you might with something else, but there's no chemicals in it. And it has On Guard essential oil, which is actually very, very safe. Then you've got your diffuser. We want to replace that with your plugins. And then you've got laundry soap. There's recipes out there I have them for homemade laundry soap, or doTERRA sells something like that. So there's a ton of easy swaps, guys, that you can do. So I want to talk just quickly a little bit. We only have 10 minutes before my screen kind of kills us, but essential oils. So there you can use essential oils for everything. You can remove a ton of toxins just by making things yourself or just by having an essential oil in your house. They're natural, they're safe, they're extracts from plants, and they're certified pure and therapeutic. So just to give you an idea, this is the time of year that everyone is sick. On Guard essential oil promotes healthy immune function, soothes sore throats, basically kills off bacteria. Lavender is a calming oil, so that's something you can have in your diffuser if you're stressed. Peppermint is energizing. It helps clear your breathing, cools your body, relieves tension. So if you have aches and pains, it's great. There are options out there. They are super easy and you can easily swap them out for something helpful. So quickly, I'm just going to show you, this is like a morning routine for me. I'm going to put balanced essential oil or adaptive on the bottoms of my feet. I'm going to drink my 12 ounces of water with lemon. You can either use a quarter of a lemon or 2 drops of essential oil. This detoxifies your body and starts your day. I'm going to work out and I'm going to drink another 12 ounces of water. I'm going to have my vitamins. I'm going to eat my whole foods for my first meal of the day around, for me, it's actually around 9 o'clock, but for the average person, it's 10 or 11. And I'm going to try to walk after my meal. Afternoon, same idea. I'm going to have my lunch around 1 o'clock. I'm going to take my supplements. I'm going to drink my water. I'm going to walk if I can. If not, it's easier usually for me to just walk in the morning. And then I'm going to have a snack and then I'm going to drink my water again. Super, super easy, guys. If you schedule it into your day, like if you put a reminder, drink water or eat, because you would be very, very surprised at how much food you should be eating. I guarantee you're probably 500 to 600 calories low. And then the evening routine, very, very similar. So those are some simple daily habits that we can do to improve everything. Oh, Jennifer, you joined. Sorry, I didn't see you. I had to minimize the screen because I couldn't see my presentation. So does anyone have any questions? I know I went through a lot quickly. It just gives you an idea of simple things that we can do, right, to improve our health.
Yeah, this is awesome. You should send it to all of our members for sure, because it's like
Yeah.
a nice like get to know you in 40 minutes and understand really what you do, and rather than you having to explain it 12 times, right?
Well, there you go. Well, I'm so glad you guys joined. If you have any questions at any time, reach out, please ask away. This just gives you a little idea of, simple swaps, simple things you can do in your life to improve your health, improve your family's health, things like that.
Yes, that
Send to
app thing
bed?
is cool. I'm gonna download that.
Sorry, say that again.
I was gonna say that app thing is cool. I'm gonna download that, but I'm slightly terrified.
Yeah, you will be terrified because
Yeah.
everything we think and we're taught in every aspect is wrong. Like it blows my mind that we're allowed to have chemicals in products and they're out there for us. Like the baby products are the worst ones. Like
Yeah, I just all for comfort, right? And or convenience. But I will say before I had a kid, like I'm a big doTERRA fan. Like I have everything doTERRA. So and
that's
then I had
awesome.
a kid and then I was scared to use certain chemicals or certain oils. So I was stopped and then I brought it back in again, but I got lazy. So I used to do the whole make my own body creams. I used to do the hand sanitizers, whatever. Well, I'll have to get back into it because it's better.
You know what? I had so many allergies before and removing chemicals was huge. My asthma, my skin, my gut. Like I thought I was allergic to strawberries my whole life. No, it was just the chemicals on the strawberries.
Wow.
Swapping out to organic like changed my life. Not that we eat everything organic. I do as much as I can, but a lot of people's allergies are the chemicals. Like it's not the face cream, it's the extra added crap that they put in it, right? And it's so simple to swap out stuff for natural products that are either pre-made or making it yourself. Like I love making stuff. I have everything. It's just you have a couple ingredients and you can make 10 different things with it. And it's way cheaper if you do it, especially nowadays. My goodness.
Yeah,
Pretty crazy.
we just switched to like True Earth.
Yep.
I don't think you're affiliated with them all, but like, yeah, they send us our dishwasher detergent, our rinse aid, our laundry detergent, and it just like comes in the mail every month. So we don't
That's
even have to
awesome.
shop or consciously make a decision anymore. It just shows up at our door, right?
Yeah, no, I'm the same with doTERRA, right? You just order everything and it's good to go. And it's being educated, right?
Yeah.
It's just being educated. We just don't know. It's what we grew up with, or it's the product my mom used. And now that you know, you're more conscious. You look at labels, you pick something different.
Yep.
Cool, cool. Well, I'm gonna let you guys go because we're gonna lose this Zoom call anyways. But if you have any questions
Okay.
at any time, let me know, and we will see you guys tomorrow morning.
Sounds
Awesome.
good.
Have a good one.
Thanks for coming, guys.
Bye.